What's up, Ragin Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex. You're watching Ragin Ronin Review, and this is a special edition of the Ragin Ronin Review because this is what I like to call the birthday edition. I gotta do a birthday shout out to my man, 2011 Sideswipe. Subscribe to his channel, youtube.com/2011 Sideswipe, aka Ben. Happy birthday. Thank you for being part of the Ragin Nation and contributing to the Ragin Nation, and I really appreciate it. You asked me a question a little while back asking me what is my top 10 Marvel movies and what is my worst 10 Marvel movies, and I'm going to answer that. This video is dedicated to you. I'm going to do it really quick just because I have a lot to talk about. I wasn't really able to find my top worst Marvel movies because I guess I haven't seen the really bad ones. I haven't seen every single Marvel movie out there. But I could easily tell you what my top 10 Marvel movies. That wasn't too hard to figure out just because I listed all the Marvel movies that I liked and I just ranked them. So with that being said, I'd like to just give you guys, and you guys, I mean the viewers, a little bit of a history lesson regarding Marvel movies. I'd like to say that Marvel movies was reinvented with Blade in 1997 or 1998. Let's just say the late 90s, okay? And I say it was reinvented with Blade because it was kind of like how Tim Burton reinvented the superhero or comic book genre with the first Batman movie in 1986 or 88. I can't remember. But he reinvented the genre. But after Batman came out, there was a whole lot of crappy superhero movies to come out after that. So after that, there was not a whole lot of superhero movies, and then Blade came out. And then it just changed everything. Everybody said that that was a cool movie. It was a very fresh take on the comic book movie genre, and it was actually a good movie. So I like to say that it started off with Blade, and because of that, I want to start off my list with the movie that started it all, or reinvented the genre, and that is with Blade. So from Blade till now, there are actually 27 Marvel films that were made, okay, including Blade. So I'm not going to give you my worst 10 or my top 10. I'm going to rank all these movies in order of worst to the best, starting with Blade. And Blade wasn't the only movie that reinvented the genre. It happened 3 times, and that was with Blade, directed by what was his name? Stephen Norrington, and then X-Men, directed by Bryan Singer. He reinvented the superhero genre again, and that is by making this great superhero team movie. Okay, and that is X-Men. Okay, afterwards, Sam Raimi, he brought it more down to the PG level. You know, Blade was rated R, so he brought it down to the PG level with Spider-Man. And Spider-Man was a great movie because it was just the portrayal of the Peter Parker character and the combination of comic book action. Okay, the action sequences, you know, is very cartoon style, and that combination was just very like a winning combination. And so I'd like to say that these 3 movies really reinvented the genre, and because of that, we have a lot of great Marvel movies. Anyways, I'm gonna give you my ranking from 25, there are actually 27 films, but 25 to number 1. I'm starting off with 25 because I haven't actually seen Elektra or Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, and I don't think I have to because I heard that they're pretty bad. So out of all the 27 Marvel films, I have not seen Elektra and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Anyways, let's start off with 25. I gotta get this over with really quickly because I don't have a lot of time. Number 25, Punisher. Starred John Travolta and Thomas Jane. Very forgettable movie. I just cannot remember anything about it. Saw it once, that's enough. Number 24, Ghost Rider. Please do not ever put Nicolas Cage in a superhero movie or comic book movie ever again. He's just not very good as a comic book character. And also, just like Punisher, it was completely forgettable. Number 23, Punisher Warzone. While it was just a little bit better than Punisher, it wasn't that much better. And it was only better by a little bit because it had better action. Okay, number 22 is Fantastic Four. Anybody will agree with me that Fantastic Four is just not a very good superhero team movie. Or better yet, just not even a superhero movie at all. Okay, it's just a very bland movie. It doesn't really go anywhere, it doesn't develop anywhere, and just the whole storytelling itself is very bland. Number 21, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Everybody will agree that this was a very weak installment in the X-Men franchise. They just overloaded it with characters, okay? Batman and Robin syndrome, put too many characters in it, and it was like a big complete mess, okay? Number 20, Fantastic Four Rise of Silver Surfer. Only slightly better than Fantastic Four, and it was only because they added the Silver Surfer, which is a fan favorite character. Not enough of him, not enough screen time, but when he's on screen, it was pretty cool. Number 19, that is Blade Trinity. Blade Trinity is the weakest installment in the Blade franchise, and that is because, you know, it no longer feels like a Blade movie. You got in the Night Stalkers, and then it's no longer a Blade movie. Since when did Blade need help, okay? Number 18, X-Men Last Stand. Brett Ratner screwed up the entire X-Men continuity, so that wasn't very good at all. Number 17, Hulk, directed by Ang Lee. Please never let Ang Lee direct a superhero movie ever again, or comic book movie at all, because too much melodrama. What's up with all the melodrama? I mean, this is Hulk we're talking about. It's supposed to be very violent and very destructive. A lot of destruction, but we don't get that at all. Next, we got number 16, Daredevil. Now we're getting into average superhero movie territory. Now, from this point on, I think they're starting to get more average. Not that bad, okay? I think Daredevil movie is not as bad as people say it is. I think it's a decent film. I love the gritty nature of it. It's very dark and visceral and violent. And I think that the atmosphere and tone was correct. In fact, the director's cut is actually even better than the theatrical version. So that's number 16 for you. Number 15, The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. I like this one. I thought it was decent. Now, the only thing they could improve was a better ending, a more hard-hitting climactic battle, and better CG. If they could do that, then it's a pretty decent movie, but otherwise, it's not that bad for an installment in the, you know, the Avengers solo movies. Number 14 is Spider-Man 3. Now, this is the worst in the Spider-Man franchise. Once again, too many characters. They threw in a lot of characters, and it just made the movie feel very like the tone was all wrong. You know, they put in all these characters and give them such little screen time, and you know, these characters definitely deserve more screen time. For example, the Venom movie should have been like a 3-hour-long movie, you know, if you're gonna include Venom in the story. So that's a number 14 for you. Number 13, Captain America, the First Avenger. I actually thought this film was pretty decent, but originally I thought it was not that good, but the more I watched it, I thought it was pretty good. And this was because, like, when you watch it in relation to the Avengers, it's actually pretty good because you see how everything's connected. Okay, so that's number 13. Number 12 is X-Men. Now, some people might think I'm crazy for making X-Men number 12. It should probably be a little bit higher, but still, I think that over the time has passed, I originally liked X-Men a lot, but after seeing so many better movies, or at least in my opinion, I think there are better Marvel movies, that's why this one is number 12. But Bryan Singer still gave us a really, really good job in doing directing the first X-Men movie. Number 11 is Iron Man 2. Now you're thinking I'm going to be even crazier because I'm putting Iron Man 2 in front of X-Men. No, Iron Man 2 was a very visually driven film. It was more, it was not like the first one, which was character driven. This one is definitely more visually driven, and what I mean by that is that the action is top notch. I love the action in Iron Man 2. Story, not so great, but the action kind of made up for it, okay? Number 10 is Thor. Some people thought Thor was weak, but I love Thor, and it was completely character driven. Chris Hemsworth, great performance, and I loved it from beginning to end. It was all because of not just Chris Hemsworth's performance, but the direction of Thor and making it like a kind of like a fish out of water story. I love that about it. Number 9 is Blade. Blade reinvented the Marvel superhero genre, and it was just a very fresh take on the superhero genre. Just everything about it. I loved it. Okay, it's a very good movie. Blade 2 is number 8. Now, I love what Blade 2 did in terms of bringing in a whole new level of action in the Blade franchise. It was just so visually fun to watch, and also the addition of these awesome and cool villains, the Reapers, that was really, really memorable to me. So Blade 2 is number 8. Number 7 is X2. Definitely better than X-Men. Bryan Singer does a great job in including even more action, better characters, and just like a better story development. Okay, so I love that about X2. X2 is definitely a great movie. Number 6 is X-Men First Class. X-Men First Class, directed by Matthew Vaughn. I love the origins of how all these X-Men characters come together, so nothing but good things to say about that. Number 5 is Spider-Man. Okay, now we're getting to the top 5. Number 5 is Spider-Man, directed by Sam Raimi. He really gave us something special with Spider-Man. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Tobey Maguire, but still, the storytelling is top-notch, and I love the transition from Peter Parker to Spider-Man. The first hour was great, the character development. Number 4 is Iron Man. Once again, another movie that had great character development. I felt that the first hour was better than the rest of the movie, and it's all because of not only Robert Downey Jr., but just the process of becoming Iron Man. I love that. Number 3 is The Amazing Spider-Man. I actually really like this movie a lot, even more so than Iron Man. Iron Man is a great film, but I love these movies all in a very different way. I love the new direction of The Amazing Spider-Man compared to Sam Raimi's version. It was an alternate look at the origins of Spider-Man, and I thought that Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield really pulled off some great chemistry. They did a really great job in the performances, and not only that, but bringing the characters to life. So Mark Webb just gave us a brand new vision, and I love it. It was a fresh new take, and that's exactly what we needed. Spider-Man 2 is number 2. I was having a hard time deciding between Spider-Man 2 and The Amazing Spider-Man, which one I liked better, but ultimately Spider-Man 2 is a better film than The Amazing Spider-Man. It was all about the new development, the emotional development of Peter Parker's character, and also the addition of Doc Ock, and the great action between the two. You know, he really raised the bar. Sam Raimi really raised the bar in comic book movie action with the fight between Doc Ock and Spider-Man. And number 1, you already know what it is, the definitive superhero movie, and that is The Avengers. Joss Whedon, great storytelling, great characters, great action. What more can you ask for? And there you have it. This movie is going on for a little bit too long. I mean, this video is going on for a little bit too long, but I just had to share with you guys my ranking of my 25 to number 1. Marvel movies, the best ones to the worst ones to the very best one. And there you have it. Happy birthday, Ben. 2011 Sideswipe. Subscribe to him, and I hope you have a good one. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex Hughes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. You know, this is just a bad choice. You know, let me go on record saying that, you know, I like Michael Bay as a filmmaker. He's given us some pretty amazing action movies. Bad Boys,